Okay, good afternoon all. Yesterday lecture we had discussed with the biomacromolecule, and here biomolecules can be divided into two parts, micromolecules and macromolecules. As you know that micromolecules consist the molecular weight less than 1000 Dalton. Okay, let's see. The molecule in the insoluble fraction, with exceptions of lipids, are polymeric substances. Then why do lipid whose molecular weight do not exceed 800 Dalton come under acid insoluble fraction, that is macromolecule fraction? Lipid insoluble biomolecule છે બરાબર. So while its molecular weight is more than 10,000 Dalton, while there is an exception in the lipid. Yes, lipid is acid insoluble substance, but here exception is there. Lipid are indeed small molecular weight compounds and are present not only as such but also arranged into structure like cell membrane and other membranes also. Lipid is not the only structural component of particular part. It is also structural component of cell membrane as well as other organelle membrane also. That's why here the molecular weight is much more larger. When we grind a tissue, we are disrupting the cell structure. Cell membrane and other membranes are broken into pieces and form vesicles which are not water soluble. Vesicles means just like a small bag-like structures. Therefore, these membrane fragments in the form of vesicles get separated along with the acid insoluble pool, and hence in the macromolecular fraction lipids are not strictly macromolecules. If you grind the tissue, the cell membrane is ruptured and divided into so many fragments. Each and every fragment become vesicle in nature, and that's why lipid is not macromolecule. Acid soluble pool represents roughly the cytoplasmic compositions. Yes, acid soluble components are only present in the cytoplasm. The macromolecules from cytoplasm and organelles become acid insoluble fraction. Together they represent the entire chemical composition of living tissue or organism. When you are talking about the cytoplasm, in cytoplasm acid soluble substances are there, and from the cytoplasm and organelles acid insoluble fraction is there, and this both the components simultaneously known as chemical composition in the living cell or organism. In summary, if we represent the chemical composition of the living tissue from abundance point of view, and arrange them class wise. We observe, underline please, that water is most abundant chemical in living organism.
You have 10 minutes or I'm gone. I'll take a lot less.
See in 9.4 table, water is present 70 to 90 percentage, protein 10 to 15 percentage, carbohydrates 3 percentage, lipids 2 percentage, nucleic acid 5 to 7 percentage, and very less proportion, that is of iron, only 1 percentage. Okay, let's discuss with lipid proteins. Proteins are polypeptide. Okay, now what is peptide? Peptide means amino acid. Yes, so you are right that protein is made up of amino acids, or you say that polymer of it. Fine. Now here what happened? Protein molecule, how it forms. So now I am talking about the dipeptide only. Okay, see, you know that protein is polypeptide and peptide is amino acid. As you know that the structure of amino acid, at the centermost side carbon, upside hydrogen, below side are one group is there. Suppose here amino acid 1, carboxylic acid group and amino group. Now this is known as amino acid 1. And another amino acid is there. Here R2 group is there. This is amino acid 2. Now here what happened? You know that Zwitter ion. Zwitter ion means the hydrogen is moved towards the NH2 side and NH3 become plus here and COO minus here. Okay, we leave that point, but what I am talking about here, see, from first amino acid OH and from second amino acid hydrogen from amino group. Again, from first amino acid OH group of carboxylic acid and from second amino acid only H. So you know that H and OH both are joined together and release the water molecule. So now here what happened? Water molecule is released, but what happened? See, amino acid 1 carbon upside H, below side R1. Here amino group is there. Now here the most important thing, see, in chemistry you had studied that carboxylic acid. Carboxylic acid is always in the form of C double bond O, O and H form. And amino group is in this form. One valence is remaining, right? So here what happened, that OH of carboxylic acid and one H of amino group join together and water is released. So here what happened, carboxylic acid ketone group is remaining and from here amino group N and H is remaining. Okay, now remaining portion is same. Now nitrogen is attached with carbon upside hydrogen, below R2 group is there and here carboxylic acid group is there. So what I mean to say here, this is known as peptide bond. And this is known as dipeptide. So what I mean to say here, the two amino acid molecules are joined together. So I mean to say here right now only one thing, that in protein we identify peptide bond. Fine. So what I mean to say here, two amino acid molecules join together by peptide bond okay, two amino acid molecules are joined together by peptide bond to form dipeptide. Okay, by dehydration process. Removal of water occurs here. Now you know that how the removal of water, you know that, fine. So here in protein peptide bond is there. Okay, few confusing sentences I am telling to you right now. These are the very important statements. All the proteins are made up of, yes, all amino acids. But all amino acids cannot form one protein. Yes, you know that total 20 amino acids are present. 20 amino acids are not present in one protein simultaneously. All amino acids are not from one protein. Protein molecule is not made up of only one amino acid. Means, in short words, I want to tell you, Protein is not homopolymer, but it is heteropolymer. Means the protein strand is not formed of same amino acids, but it is formed of different amino acids. And each and every organism is different from everyone according to the protein structure. Yes, each and every organism is different from each other in protein structure, because each and every organism consists different protein. And why? Here the particular protein consists particular sequence and number of amino acid. Okay, fine. See, they are linear chains of amino acid linked by peptide bonds. Okay, so linear strand, that is primary protein. So many amino acids are joined together. All the so many amino acid molecules are joined together by peptide bond to form the protein strand in a linear manner. This is known as primary protein. Each protein is polymer of amino acid. As there are 21 types of amino acid. Example: alanine, cysteine, proline, tryptophan, lysine, etc. I had told to you the previous code: MPTP Wali, GT set, AGR. A protein is heteropolymer, not a homopolymer. A homopolymer has only one type of monomer repeating n numbers of times. This information about the amino acid content is important, as later in your nutrition lesson you will learn that certain amino acids are essential for health and they have to be supplied through our diet. Okay, so Okay, this is the most important line. There are 10 essential amino acids in children, whereas 8 amino acids are essential in adults. Here, essential amino acids means we have to depend on food for obtain these amino acids. Therefore, hence dietary proteins are source of essential amino acids. Some amino acids are naturally formed by our body, is known as essential amino acids. Whereas we have to take the protein in our diet, that is essential amino acid. Therefore, amino acids can be essential or non-essential. The latter are those which our body can make, while we get essential amino acids through our diet or food. Protein carry out many functions in living organisms. Some transport nutrients across the cell membrane. So for that you write facilitated transport. So in facilitated diffusion, proteins are used as carrier. Okay, so some proteins are useful to transport the molecules across the cell membrane, that is known as facilitated transport. Some are hormones. Yes, so the hormones are made up of protein known as peptide hormones. Example, see in 22nd chapter, peptide hormones, example, pituitary hormones, thyroid, etc. The hormone is made up of protein known as peptide hormones, and some hormones are made up of lipid also known as steroidal hormones. So just for example, estrogen, progesterone, testosterone, these all are steroidal hormones. Fine. So some are hormones, some are enzymes. Yes, all the enzymes are made up of protein. Okay, fine. Now underline this. Collagen is the most abundant protein in animal. Please underline and remember it. Collagen is most abundant protein in animals Whereas Rubisco, you all are aware of this word. The Rubisco is the most abundant protein or most abundant enzyme in plants as well as in the world. Fine. Okay, see the table. Collagen is intercellular ground substance. Collagen fibers are there. Trypsin is an enzyme. First enzyme was invented, that is secretin. Sorry, first hormone. First hormone was invented, that was secretin. Insulin is an hormone which is used for therapeutic purpose in diabetes mellitus. Antibody. Okay, antibody is known as gamma globulin, known as immunoglobulin. To fight against the particular disease, we have antibody. Antibody is also known as immunoglobulin and can be represented as a Ig. Okay, it is known as gamma globulin receptor. Some proteins are receptor. Sensory receptors, smell, taste and hormone. To feel the smell, taste and to accept the hormone in the cell. Yes, at the end of the 22nd chapter, mechanism of hormone action is given there. At that time, if steroidal hormones, if you know that, please concentrate here. If the hormone is peptide, it is unable to pass through the plasma membrane. Plasma membrane is made up of lipoprotein. So, plasma membrane is hydrophobic in nature, whereas protein is hydrophilic in nature. So, to transport that molecule, carrier molecules are required there. And GLUT4 enables glucose transport in the cell. If you give the more amount of GLUT4 is a protein that it improve the glucose transport inside the cell. As a result, glucose metabolism is elevated. So this is about the protein in detail. Fine. So hope you understand this. Now polysaccharides. Polysaccharide is also known as polymer of sugar. Okay. See, the acid insoluble pellet also has polysaccharide. Polysaccharide, that is carbohydrate, as another class of macromolecules. Polysaccharide are long chains of sugar. There are thread, literally a cotton thread, containing different monosaccharides as building blocks. Yes, suppose example, if you say that cotton fiber, yes, so this cotton fiber is made up of cellulose, and cellulose is the polymer of glucose. So from this cotton fiber, paper is formed. Fine. For example, cellulose is polymeric polysaccharide consisting only one type of monosaccharide, that is glucose. So cellulose is homopolymer. Fine. So cellulose is present in the cotton fiber as well as in the cloth also. Cellulosic fiber is there. So cellulose is homopolymer. Starch is variant of this, but present as a storehouse energy in the plant tissue. Okay, so the plant form the food in the form of starch only. Starch is stored food in the plants. Okay. So here next thing, animals have another variant called as glycogen. So glycogen is stored food in animals. So glycogen is stored food in animals. Yes, you know that we had discussed this in 16th chapter, that in liver, with the help of insulin, glucose is converted into less harmful substance known as glycogen. And this glycogen is stored in liver as well as muscles as a reserved food. When in our body we can't take any type of food, so the stored glycogen is converted into glucose by glucagon hormone. See dear all students, here collagen is most abundant protein. Okay, collagen is most abundant protein. This is glycogen and glucagon. I had told you earlier that don't confuse between glucagon and glycogen. So in fasting stage, in our body, from pancreas, glucagon is secreted. Glucagon hormone converts the glycogen into glucose. As a result, we can obtain the energy from this glucose as a reserved food from glycogen in our body in a fasting stage. Yes. Now you are thinking about that if the glycogen amount is over, so whole glycogen amount is converted into glucose. We obtain the energy, we had performed the metabolic process. After that what happened? Now we feel weakness. So initial days of fasting, we can't feel any harmful changes in our body. But when fasting is continued, yes, now you think about that if the glycogen amount is over, glycogen is converted into glucose, the glycogen amount is over. Now what happened? The protein and lipid is also converted into glucose right now. And that process I hope you know that gluconeogenesis. So glucose is converted into glycogen, that is known as glycogenesis. Lipid and protein molecules are converted into glucose, known as gluconeogenesis. And this both the functions are of glucagon hormone. And glycogen is converted into, sorry, my mistake here, glucose is converted into glycogen, that is glycogenesis, that is of insulin function. Glycogen is converted into glucose, as well as lipid and protein converted into glucose, that are functions of the glucagon hormone. Okay, so here stored food in animals known as glycogen. Inulin, please remember, this is the most important. Okay, please understand this. Inulin is polymer of sucrose. So in NEET exam, one question was asked What is the difference between inulin and insulin? So now here I clarify that inulin is polymer of sucrose. And see, what is the difference between cellulose and inulin? Cellulose means homopolymer and it is the polymer of the glucose only. Whereas in starch and glycogen, glucose and glycogen are mixed together. In next lecture, I will tell you the linear structure of glucose, galactose and fructose. PGL, DHAP, ribose, ribulose and deoxyribose. In next lecture I will tell you that structures. Fine. So here starch and glycogen are made up of glucose as well as galactose both. But inulin is homopolymer. Yes, we say that inulin is homopolymer of sucrose. But inulin is polysaccharide. Whereas insulin is a hormone and this hormone is peptide hormone. So this is made up of protein. So we say that insulin is polypeptide. So there is a difference between inulin and insulin. So inulin is a polymer of the fructose. In the polysaccharide chain, say glycogen, right end is known as reducing end and left end is known as non-reducing end. It has branch shown in the form of the cartoon 9.2. Later on, I will tell you that where the bonds are formed. Starch forms helical secondary structure. Starch forms helical, helix, spirally, just like a DNA, secondary structure, two-dimensional. The starch I2 is blue in color. Cellulose does not contain complex helix and hence cannot hold I2. Yes, I had told to you in 13th chapter that for identification of the starch we perform the iodine test. So when starch is joined with iodine, it shows bluish in color. But if you select the cellulose, so cellulose cannot give blue color because it cannot bind with the iodine. So starch iodine is blue in color, cellulose iodine no color. Okay, now remaining thing I will complete this. Plant cell wall are made up of cellulose. Please all students note down this, all the points in your mind are very important. The plant cell wall are made up of cellulose. Paper made from the plant pulp is also cellulose. Cotton fiber is cellulose. So each and every cotton fiber from that papers are formed. There are more complex polysaccharide in nature. They have a building blocks, amino sugars and chemically modified sugars. Example, glucosamine. Glucose and amino group, glucosamine and acetyl galactosamine, acetyl group, amine group. These are chemically modified sugars. Exoskeleton. Yes, you know that chitin, lignin are also polysaccharide. Yes, chitin, lignin. See, exoskeleton of arthropod, for example, have a complex polysaccharide known as chitin. These complex polysaccharides are heteropolymers. So chitin, lignin, all are polysaccharides. Okay, so here I can stop now. Nucleic acid, I will tell you this in next lecture. Okay, so hope you understand this. Thank you very much to all.